General. Wei Zhuyan's 4 deputies fell to their knees simultaneously. Li Jingyi was the only one left standing. She said worriedly, General, this place isn't safe anymore. General, I'd rather die than let anything happen to you. Please return to the divine capital. Please return to the divine capital, General. Please return to the divine capital, General. Wei Zhuyan's subordinates chimed in one after another. Wei Zhuyan looked at his 4 subordinates before his eyes finally landed on Li Jingyi. He said, Return to the capital. A peculiar gleam could be seen in Li Jingyi's eyes at this moment. It seemed as though she wanted to say something, but thought the better of it. In the end, she cupped her fists together and said, Understood. Wei Zhuyan walked past the fallen and trampled trees around Blue Sun Lake. At the same time, Li Jingyi stared at Wei Zhuyan's receding back with a complicated look in her eyes. She reminded sternly, Remember, nothing happened here today. Understood. The 4 subordinates replied in unison. Meanwhile, the cloud-splitting chariot flew past Blue Sun Mountain and Blue Sun Town as it sped toward the Evil Sky Pavilion. Zhou stood atop the flying chariot with his arms on his back. Mingshi bowed and said enthusiastically, That was amazing, Master. You've truly widened my horizons. He found it difficult to calm down after witnessing the 9 Cuts hand seals. After all, he knew how powerful the 9 Cuts hand seals after witnessing the battle with the 10 shamans. Regardless, when he saw his master taking down Wei Zhuyan from such a distance on the flying chariot, he was genuinely awed by the feat. Such is his fate, Zhou said monotonously. It's true that he is rotten fate. If he had remained in the divine capital, he might have been able to live longer. Mingshi seemed to realize he had misspoken again, so he quickly corrected himself. However, even if he's in the divine capital, I'm sure you'll still be able to take him down easily, Master. Duanmu Sheng, who was manning the cloud-splitting chariot by himself, said, Master, what if those people kill Wei Zhuyan after we let him go? Without waiting for Zhou to reply, Mingshi said with a smile, They won't. Even if they discover Wei Zhuyan is only an imposter, they won't dare to expose him. They'll probably continue with the farce. If it were made known that Wei Zhuyan had died, the armies would no longer have a leader. Many people would definitely covet that position. Even before this, Wei Zhuyan's achievements had already become a threat to the monarchy. Wei Zhuyan will definitely be more reserved after he takes over Wei Zhuyan's palace. Great Yan's imperial family would be happier if someone like Wei Zhuyan is in charge. From today onward, Wei Zhuyan will be Wei Zhuyan. Little Yuaner, who was sitting at the edge of the flying chariot with her legs dangling off the side of the flying chariot, said, Jiang Aijian says there's always a battle of mutual deception in the palace. The way you put it is quite boring for a senior brother. There are those who lust for power and authority. There's no helping that. It's a shame for a grand 7-leaf elite to go out like that. Mingshi shook his head and sighed. Zhou said, He's only a 5-leaf, not a 7-leaf. 5-leaf? Mingshi, Duanmu Sheng, and little Yuana were stunned. Regardless of the rumors flying everywhere, Zhou only believed his own eyes. He had used a deadly strike card to kill Wei Zhuyan earlier. The reward was 1,000 points, and he merely gained 400 points after deducting the cost of the card. The reward for killing a 7-leaf elite should be much more than this. What a sly man. Did we kill another imposter? Mingshi frowned and was about to lose his temper again. After all, they were too far away earlier, so Mingshi and Duanmu Sheng could not clearly see the target. Mingshi wondered if his master's eyesight had deteriorated in his old age. Did his master get the wrong person? Naturally, he did not dare to verbalize his thoughts. Instead, he only said that it might be an imposter. There's no doubt he's a real Wei Zhuyan, Zhou said. I think I understand what you mean now, Master. In the end, he's only all bark but not bite. However, since he's only a 5-leaf cultivator, how did he rise to the position of commander-in-chief of the 3 armies? Mingshi could not figure this out no matter how he racked his brains. Did someone secretly help him? Duanmu Sheng said, Regardless, as long as they leave the Evil Sky Pavilion alone, we won't look for trouble with them. Ming In nodded and said, I guess this is the end of the Fish Dragon Village incident. Junior sister Qianxin should feel at ease now. When he saw the cloud-splitting chariot flying past the mountains, a thought suddenly appeared in his mind, and he asked, Master, since we're out of Evil Sky Pavilion now, why don't we use this opportunity to capture Old Eighth? With the cloud-splitting chariot, they would be able to reach the Tiger Ridge in no time at all. Zhou remained silent as he stroked his beard and pondered over Ming Yin's words. Initially, he planned to leave those disciples of his alone. However, whenever he looked at the system dashboard, the mission to discipline his disciples was always on top. He had made some headway in disciplining Ming Yin, Duanmu Sheng, and Little Yuaner, but it was clear they were no longer earning him as many merit points as before. Old Seventh should have enough strength to rescue Old Eighth. Why did he inform the Evil Sky Pavilion about this? He recalled the content of Jiang Aijin's letter. Is Old Seventh really trying to cause chaos? Zhou hesitated over whether he should capture Old Eighth or not. Zhu Honggong, Old Eighth, would be valuable to Zhou. He would be able to gain merit points from Old Eighth before he disciplined him as well. Apart from that, Old Eighth rarely committed crimes on his own accord. Usually it was Siwia Old Seventh who instigated Old Eighth into acting. It was rumored that Old Seventh's darknet was located at the Crouching Dragon, and yet nobody had ever found it. All they knew was the darknet was everywhere, and their network of information was very wide. It would be difficult to catch Old Seventh. Moreover, Zhou had more pressing needs. He needed to improve his strength first and foremost. Rumor was rife that he was going to meet his end in 10 years. Everyone was just waiting for him to die. In fact, with humans' greed, there would be people who would not even wait 10 years. It was possible that someone would come and attempt to get their hands on the Evil Sky Pavilion's treasures in 5, 7, or 8 years. After all, most people thought Zhou's cultivation base was deteriorating as well. Therefore, it was of utmost importance for Zhou to improve his strength. There was no doubt an endless stream of cultivators would be coming for him. At that time, just relying on the item cards would not be enough for him to deal with so many cultivators. After a while, Zhou glanced at Ming Yin and said, He got lucky and escaped when we were at Green Jade Altar. I think Old Seventh is planning something by sending this letter. I want you to investigate this. When Ming Yin heard this, he beamed and said, Yes, Master. I'll carry out this task perfectly. Old Fourth, I think it's better if I go with you. Old Eighth might seem stupid, but he's really sly. There's no need to kill the chicken with a butcher's knife. I'll try and investigate Old Seventh's plot for now. When the time is ripe, we'll capture the two of them together. Ming Yin said. Duanmu Sheng seemed dejected as he said, When you're gone, I won't have any sparring partners. Elder Hua was wounded and still recuperating. He was in no condition to spar. Little junior sister was not in the nascent divinity tribulation realm yet, and she did not possess a heaven-grade weapon, so she was not a match for him. Similarly, Pan Zhong and Zhou Jifeng were also in the divine court realm. They were no match for him as well. The only person left was the latest addition to the Evil Sky Pavilion, Lung Luo, the former leader of the Black Knights. Alas, he was gravely injured at the moment. Ming Yin rolled his eyes and said, No one is as mad as you. All you know how to do is train. You should use your brain more often. It did not take long before the cloud-splitting chariot finally returned to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Ming Yin left Golden Court Mountain on his master's orders and made his way to the Tiger Ridge. Inside the Tiger Ridge gang's stronghold, Zhu Honggong was sound asleep on his chair. Ming Yin was familiar with the area now after his previous visits. He appeared outside the stronghold and bellowed, Old Eighth, I'm back. His voice resounded through the mountain forest. Zhu Honggong, who had been sound asleep, started awake, frightened. He almost fell off the chair. Who is it? Is it my master? Is he here? Zhu Honggong hurriedly rose to his feet as he looked around his surroundings. His gang members stationed outside the stronghold swarmed in. Gang leader! Run, gang leader! The cultivation bases of Tiger Ridge Gang's members were shallow. They were undoubtedly not a match for Ming Yin. However, Those who recognized Mingshi did not run away. Mingshi moved swiftly and appeared before everyone else. Step aside. The small fries immediately gave way. Fourth senior brother? Zhu Honggong rubbed his eyes. After regaining his senses, he said charmingly, "What brings you here?" Mingshi sauntered over. Zhu Honggong hastily vacated the chair. Mingshi said, "Didn't you say that you'll welcome me as a guest at any time?" "Those were just words of formalities," Zhu Honggong muttered under his breath before he said with a smile, "I mean, yes, of course. You're welcome to visit whenever you want." Mingshi was in no hurry. He surveyed his surroundings and said, "Your stronghold was nearly flattened by someone else previously. It seems like you've completely restored it." "Of course. My gang members are skilled in this regard," Zhu Honggong said. "Old Seventh sent a letter to Master. He said the Clarity Sect is coming to look for trouble with you. Aren't you afraid at all?" Zhu Honggong was startled. He said, "No way. They're coming for me? Why are you surprised? You killed Zhang Chunlai, the righteous sect's elder. Do you think they'll let the matter go? Didn't you kill the righteous sect's elder, Zhang Chuchi, as well? You and your glib tongue." Mingshi kicked Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong did not avoid the kick, neither did he retaliate. He fell to his knees obediently. Meanwhile, in the Evil Sky Pavilion, Ding, disciplining the 8th disciple, Zhu Honggong. Reward, 100 merit points. Zhou nodded with a pleased expression on his face when he heard the notification. Back in the Tiger Ridge. "They can't do anything to me even if I annihilate the entire righteous sect. Who are you going to count on to protect you? Eldest senior brother? Second senior brother? Or is it old Seventh who spends his days hiding away in some part of the world?" Mingshi unleashed a barrage of questions at Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong's face fell. When he thought about this, he was filled with sadness. He wanted to back her as well. The problem was everyone regarded him with scorn. Mingshi shook his head and said, "Old Eighth, tell me the truth. What are you and Old Seventh planning this time?" "Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I swear to the heavens," Zhu Honggong said hastily. Why did this scene seem familiar? This is exactly how he swore the last time. "Eighth junior brother, this is for your own good. Your current situation is extremely perilous. Old Seventh could help you deal with the small fries before this. However, this time, we're talking about the Clarity Sect. Apart from the Evil Sky Pavilion, nobody will be able to help you. Listen to my advice. Disband your gang and obediently return to the Evil Sky Pavilion with me and repent." Mingshi said, "Repent." Zhu Honggong shuddered. His expression was one of incredulity as he said, "With Master's temper, wouldn't he flay my skin and pull out my tendons?" Mingshi placed his hands on his back and said, "That's possible. Who knows what goes through Master's mind these days? It depends on your luck. If Master's not in a good mood when you return, there's nothing you can do about it." Mingshi recalled a scene where Zhuo and Li Qing, one of the 3 godly archers who was also a member of the Black Knights, were killed with just a single palm strike. Knowing that you're still trying to convince me to return to the Evil Sky Pavilion and repent. You don't have a say in this." Mingshi said with a smile, "You shouldn't wait for Master to personally make a move." Rin Buping, the Master Fiend Temple Master, was killed by Master with just a single palm strike. What? Zhu Honggong was even more frightened when he heard this. If he returned, would he not be turned into a meat pie? Mingshi continued to study Zhu Honggong. He did not expect Old Eighth would be so stubborn. It seemed like Old Seventh had successfully brainwashed him. "It's fine if you don't want to return with me. Tell me where the Crouching Dragon, where the Darknet is located." "Province." "You dumb pig, be more specific. You might as well say it's in Great Yen," Mingshi said irritably as he gave Zhu Honggong another kick. "How would I know? Seventh senior brother has always been secretive with his movements. If I can easily find him, would I need to fear the Clarity Sect?" Zhu Honggong said with an aggrieved expression, "Dream on. Do you think that Old Seventh is omnipotent?" Mingshi Yin's voice had barely faded when a figure slowly entered the stronghold. The small fries instantly made way for him. At this moment, silence descended on the stronghold. Mingshir-een and Zhu Honggong looked at the newcomer. Old Seventh. Seventh senior brother? Speak of the devil. Si Wuya was smiling as he walked. He wore long robes and a brocade crown on his head. It seemed like he was dressed for an official ceremony. He cupped his fist at Mingshir-een and said, "Greetings for senior brother." Mingshir-een did not like Si Wuya very much. He looked away and sat down without paying much attention to Si Wuya. He said, "You dare show your face here? If Master had come here, I wouldn't show myself. Since it's you, it's fine if I show myself." "You're a sly one," Mingshir-een said as he leaned to the side. Si Wuya strode forward and went up the stairs. He sat down slowly on the seat beside Mingshir-een and said with a smile, "I heard that Wei Zhuyan has gone to the Evil Sky Pavilion." Old Seventh. Save your breath. "You won't get anything out of me," Mingshir-een said. "Fourth senior brother, we're from the same pavilion. After all, there's no need for us to act like strangers. I'm asking this for the Evil Sky Pavilion's sake as well. Maya's asterisk." Mingshir-een spat on the floor. "If you truly have the Evil Sky Pavilion in your heart, you will return and accept your punishment immediately. The heavens will decide your life and death." Zhu Honggong felt a fresh surge of fear in his heart. His fourth senior brother was talking about life and death now. He was convinced that nothing good would be waiting for him if he returned to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Si Wuya smiled and said drily, "There's no need to be so hostile toward me. For senior brother, it's meaningless to lose your temper. I have so many things I have yet accomplished. How can I return to the Evil Sky Pavilion?" "Well then, what's your purpose of sending the letter to the Evil Sky Pavilion?" Mingshir-een asked, confused. "It's simple." Si Wuya pointed at Zhu Honggong, Old Eight, who was next to him. "The Clarity sect wants to attack the Tiger Ridge gang. Old Eighth would not be able to survive without the Evil Sky Pavilion's protection. That's it? There's nothing else?" Mingshir-een asked skeptically. Si Wuya shook his head. "Why you think of me as a sinister and filthy person? For a senior brother, that's my only intention. Why do you seek help from second senior brother or eldest senior brother instead?" Among the three of them, it was clearly the most difficult to ask their master for help. Eldest senior brother and second senior brother were capable enough to deal with the Clarity sect. Eldest senior brother is occupied with various tasks every day. He doesn't have time for Old Eighth. Second senior brother travels all over the place, and his movements are often unknown. He doesn't have a place he calls home. The Evil Sky Pavilion is the most suitable candidate under these circumstances. After hearing all this, I don't think I want to bring Old Eight back with me right now." Mingshir-een merely wanted to oppose Si Wuya. Si Wuya said, "Old Eight will die." "Let him die then." Zhu Honggong was baffled. "What did I do? Enough is enough." He straightened his back and said loudly, "My dear senior brothers, I'm not going anywhere. Besides, this is my problem. What has it got to do with either of you?" "Shut up." Si Wuya and Mingshir-een snapped in unison. Zhu Honggong sat back down. He did not like this. Si Wuya's expression was calm as he looked at Mingshir-een and said, "Are you going to sit back and do nothing while Old Eight dies for senior brother?" Zhu Honggong gave up trying to interject. He seemed to have grown numb to the word die. Mingshir-een said, "Old Eight is considered dead the moment he betrayed Master. If he dies, it's because he deserves it." Si Wuya's expression showed no changes as he continued to say, "In that case, we'll let him die then." It was meaningless to bicker with Mingshir-een. Si Wuya rose to his feet and walked out of the stronghold with his hands on his back. Upon seeing Si Wuya leaving, Mingshir-een said in a deceptively gentle tone, "Old Seventh, heed my advice. You should stop this." Si Wuya stopped in his tracks and said drily, "Master has 15 years left to live. 10 years, 8 years, maybe even sooner. The Evil Sky Pavilion will surely experience a tribulation." Mingshir-een knew that as well, so he remained silent. Si Wuya said, "Fourth senior brother, what would you do then? Let's leave tomorrow's worries for tomorrow. Forget it. Forget that I was even here today." Si Wuya left the stronghold with blinding speed. Mingshi Yin did not stop him. With his current strength and cultivation base, it would be slightly difficult for him to catch Si Wuya. He remained silent for a while before he finally said, "Disband the gang! Come with me." "Huh? Don't you hummy? Master has ordered me to bring you back to the Evil Sky Pavilion," Mingshi Yin said. Zhu Honggong was on the verge of tears. He felt terrified whenever he thought about his master's various methods. He shook his head frantically. "Forget it. For senior brother, why do you have to put me in a difficult position when we're on the same side?" As he spoke, he took 2 steps back. "Old Eighth, what are you trying to do?" "I'm sorry, senior brother. I really don't want to return. Farewell." Zhu Honggong turned tail and ran. His speed made the other's hairs stand on end. A faint smile spread across Mingshi Yin's face. "Let's see where you can run to." With swift movements, Mingshi Yin chased after him. Zhu Honggong was a divine court realm cultivator. After all, in terms of speed, he was no match for Mingshi Yin, who was in the nascent divinity tribulation realm. In just a blink of an eye, Mingshi Yin was right behind Zhu Honggong. He did not hesitate as he raised his hand and struck with his palm. Bam! Mingshi Yin's palm landed on Zhu Honggong's back, causing Zhu Honggong to stumble forward from the impact. Mingshi Yin felt that his palm strike had been blocked by some special object. Zhu Honggong was sprawled on the ground at this moment. He quickly rose to his feet and began to run again. "Block him. Quick. Now. Gang leader this way." Mingshi Yin was rendered speechless by this. Although his combat style depended on his whim as well, he would never turn tail and run like this. For an Evil Sky Pavilion's disciple to behave in this manner was truly a humiliation to the Evil Sky Pavilion. There's nowhere to run. Mingshi Yin's voice resounded throughout the stronghold. Zhu Honggong sprinted toward the back of the mountain. Alas, Mingshi Yin moved swiftly and appeared before Zhu Honggong again. At the same time, vines sprouted around him and began to grow rapidly. The path that led to the back of the mountain was swiftly blocked by the vines in no time at all. Zhu Honggong staggered and retreated. "This is bad." The octagon formation. Zhu Honggong's expression changed. "Fourth senior brother, don't make me do this. Don't think you can scare me with that formation of yours. Please don't think that I'm heartless. When I was here previously, I've made some changes to it." Mingshi Yin walked toward him with half a smile. Zhu Honggong wanted to cry. The gang members behind him shuddered with fear as well. "Gang leader, why don't you surrender yourself?" Zhu Honggong was speechless. Mingshi Yin nodded and said, "You have sensible and understanding subordinates." Creak, creak, creak. Zhu Honggong's retreat was also blocked by the vines. Mingshi Yin's Bluewood Heart technique had been cultivated to the point of perfection. His primal chi spilled into his surroundings like an incoming tide. Wherever it touched, vines would sprout and grow. This technique, spring upon 1,000 vines, could even be used to fight against a 4-leaf nascent divinity tribulation realm cultivator, let alone Zhu Honggong, who was in the divine court realm. Zhu Honggong's Zen tunic could only reduce the damage he received to a certain degree. It did nothing to increase his combat strength. He could only look on helplessly as Mingshi Yin walked up to him. Without the octagon formation, the disparity between them was too great. It was as different as heaven and earth. Zhu Honggong really felt like crying. All his paths of retreat seemed to have been cut off. "Say, senior brother." Mingshi Yin patted his shoulder. He sighed softly. "Just do as you're told." After saying this, he turned to the Tiger Ridge Gang's members and declared loudly, "All of you should look for other ways to make a living. Gang leader, gang leader." Mingshi Yin was inwardly shocked when he saw these cowardly gang members fall to their knees in unison. Zhu Honggong swept his gaze across them and said, "Divide the valuables in the stronghold among yourselves, then get lost." Zhu Honggong said this with a sense of righteousness that inspired reverence. He truly behaved like a gang leader now. His gang members who were kneeling exchanged glances. Then they cowed out at Zhu Honggong and said without any hesitation, "Thank you, gang leader." Zhu Honggong was taken aback.